Welcome to this edition of Soul Smart, where we are going to talk about the Menopause Core Package. And I have to tell you, I have been chomping at the bit to share this information since we released the full trio for this package back in October. The testimonies that are coming in have been off the charts. And in fact, let's just jump right in and hear from my good friend, Corinne.
Hi there, I am Corinne Law. I am from Idaho, and I wanted to take just a minute and share my experience with the Solle Naturals products. I've been blessed to be able to use these products for the last 13 plus years, and they have all done something different at different seasons of my life. And the one I wanted to talk about is the new product called Vibrancy. Actually, I'm going to talk about the Menopause package that has Solmaca XD, adaptable, and the Vibrancy in it. So about 3.5 months ago, they introduced this package, and I went ahead and started on it. And where I am over 50 now, I was experiencing what I was told was normal menopause symptoms, and my cycle would last about a week, and I would spot before and after that. And sometimes it was like I felt like I was spotting the entire month after going to the doctor and doing some of the tests and just making sure my levels were good. Everything came back normal. And again, just told that these are just normal menopause symptoms. And so when I started this package, the very first day, so I should say about 24 hours after taking this package together, the spotting stopped. And I was like, oh, well, let's see, if this lasts. I did very well for about a month, no spotting. I actually was traveling out of the country and missed a couple of days, and the spotting started back up. As soon as I got back on the products religiously, the spotting stopped again. And I've also noticed that my cycle is only about 3 days now instead of that week, and that there is absolutely no spotting. I've noticed that I've had more energy, and it's more level energy, sleeping better and getting up first thing in the morning and being ready to go for the day. I can also say that I've had clearer thinking, and I just feel good. So it truly has helped me feel more like myself. And of course, everybody is different. Everybody's body reacts differently. But this has been my personal experience. I hope if this helps you, or if you know someone that's struggling with some of those things, that you share my story with them.
I just love that Corinne, number one, was willing to share this, but number two, that she had these type of results, because we know so many women that have been dealing with things like this, and it can go on for months and months, and it can truly be an interrupter of life. So what is this perimenopause core package, which, spoiler alert, you can also think of it as just hormonal balance support? And in fact, that's one of the number one things that this trio works very well together to achieve: supporting the hormones, helping them bring them into ideal balance, whether you are a perimenopausal woman or a 20-year-old woman or a 86-year-old woman, across the board. And by the way, male as well. Because herbs don't care whether you're male or female. They're going to get in and support the body for helping bring the hormones into the proper balance for you. When your hormones are balanced, it naturally impacts and helps support better sleep and mood. It's going to help mental clarity, energy and sex drive, libido, thyroid and metabolic health, and then skin and joint vitality. But let's look at each of these individually. So the key benefits of the Vibrancy, which is our thyroid support formula. This was the third formula to join in with this. We already had the other two. So combining these three together is where the punch is really coming in. Across the board, you'll see that this formula helps support, again, hormonal balance, natural vitality, or your general energy, being able to get throughout the day, mental clarity. We know a lot of people as they age are having challenges with thought and thinking. Heart health is always going to be a concern. Immune function, adaptogens, and then combined with the antioxidants naturally help fortify that immune system, the natural defense systems. Thyroid is, when you support the thyroid, and in this case with the essential fatty acids that we have in here, that's one of the things that targets and helps with that skin and joints. And then the iodine-rich ingredients that we have in here also help support the thyroid. So let's get in and look at this a little bit more. These are the trifecta with the three different types of kelp you can see here. And across the board, you see that the three varieties are doing different things with supporting digestion, helping to regulate the blood sugar, energy levels. We talk about joint flexibility, and how many of us have heard or are aware of as aging that people just think it's part of aging that we end up with that joint challenge. Mood support, refer to being as a grumpy old woman or a grumpy old man across the board. You're going to find the adaptogens and the different plants that we have selected for these formulas naturally help with the mood support, which is going to help us have a better outlook in life. You're going to hear a little bit about the power of these 47 essential fatty acids that we've got in here. And then also the iodine. Iodine, as a culture, we tend to be very deficient in iodine in the United States because most people do not live on the coast, number one. Number two, they're not getting food in their regular diet that is fresh and high in the iodine. And so iodine has a direct affinity for the thyroid, for the breast, for the prostate, and for the ovaries. And so it helps a lot with the reproductive function along with metabolism, because when that thyroid is supported, our metabolism is more in alignment with where it should be. It also, we feel better, we have better mood, and and then you see that overall wellness. And when you feel better, we move, and when we move, it's easier to also bring our weight in more into alignment for us. Let's hear a little bit more in depth what Greg Halliday, the president and founder of Solle Naturals, has to share.
So one of my favorite things to talk about with vibrancy is the fact that these ocean plants are so named on our label Ocean Plant Power because of the large numbers of nutrients that they contain. And we're talking all categories of nutrients, from vitamins to minerals to essential fatty acids to amino acids, so proteins and fats and all the groups that we really need to have balance and strength and vibrancy in our health. In particular, there's a set of ingredients in vibrancy that is the Icelandic kelp blend. So these are North Atlantic kelps. And I love the huge numbers of nutrients they have. So as an example, I'm going to kind of look off a paper here. The Laminaria hyperborea, which is one of those three species, really, really high in good fats. In fact, 47 different essential fatty acids, 47 in this particular kelp, including in the form of EPA, which is a really coveted form of healthy fats, makes a big difference in so many important health processes. Another example would be the Ascophyllum nodosum. So that's the second one of these North Atlantic kelps. Really, really high in B vitamins. Got 8 different B vitamins, including biotin and folate and B12. And it's loaded with an abundant amount of fucoidan, which is something that we talk about a lot as being unique to ocean plants and really having effect on every kind of process that's important for us to maintain good health. But the numbers that are the biggest in this Ascophyllum nodosum are the minerals. So there are 70, that's 7 with a 0, naturally occurring minerals in Ascophyllum nodosum. And you can hear lots of different opinions on how many we need, how many essential minerals. It's true, we know of at least 20 in the low 20s that are vital, but I happen to believe that all of them in nature play a role. And we can't say that any are unimportant. And so having this huge variety is, to me, a huge deal. And just one example of why, when we're going through a lot of stress or change of seasons, or when we talk about perimenopause and menopause and a lot of changes are going on in the body, having an extra abundance of key nutrients can make a huge difference in health.
So I absolutely love how Greg goes in depth with this. And minerals, I am a big believer in minerals, which is one of my favorite things about this product. And we're going to look a little bit more deeply into 3 of those minerals. And like Greg said, there's 70 different that are brought to the table in this formula. A couple of the key ones that are impactful that a lot of people are familiar with, potassium being one, but a lot of people are not aware of the impact that that can actually have on your muscle strength or your endurance. It also impacts your cardiovascular function. Not most people do not know the impact potassium can have on pain and discomfort. And it is very good for helping have that general vitality and energy, and also helping with hair, nerves and tissues growth. Boron, we've heard about more often as something that women, as we age, tend to be challenged with having enough because of its impact, direct impact on bone health. And the reason that it impacts health of the bones is that it allows the body to better be able to use the calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D that are coming in through the diet or supplementation. So boron is essential, but it also plays a role in hormone regulation, because of some of what it does with vitamin D. If we and it's how it helps support the body in using it, it will have an impact on the body's hormones. Thinking, joint health, your skincare, gut health, all these things tie back to boron. Now, iodine, a lot of people are more familiar with it, but they're not aware of how deficient we as a population are. The numbers are extremely high. In fact, I go into that in depth in a separate Soul Smart on vibrancy. So if you want to get in deep on that, that's the one you want to watch. But here is just a partial list of some of the conditions that are helped with iodine. And this does come from Lynn Farrow's book, The Iodine Crisis. So iodine does support and help challenge brain fog. It helps with energy levels. And you're going to hear about some of this changing very quickly for some of these testimonies we've got. Supports the thyroid, cognitive challenges, helps to balance the menstrual cycle. It's also important when it comes to weight gain by getting iodine, the right amount of iodine in. It can help the body to actually start to shed some of that. Breast pain, being cold of all things, iodine can help impact that. Thinning hair, women, we know the impact that it has for fertility, depression and overwhelm, and then even with heart arrhythmia. So vibrancy has got these different plants in it. And you can see when we look at it that it has got a lot of different types of B vitamins in it. It's got the trace minerals. It's got the different antioxidants and the essential fatty acids in here. You can see some of the more minimal trace minerals that are needed, like germanium and boron, the impact. But all these items are in the vibrancy. And again, if you want more in depth, check out the other Soul Smart that I spend the entire time going over this formula. Now let's look at adaptable, which is one of the other, as a friend of mine refers to these three formulas as the menopause musketeers. This is number 2 in that formula. And a lot of us are familiar with adaptable and the power and the impact it's had in our life, because how it helps us to navigate stress. And it helps with, in general, stamina, immunity, and then mood across the board, because it has got 6 powerful adaptogens in it. Adaptogens help your body find its ideal point of balance. So if we have an overactive part of the body, it helps to scale it back. If it's underactive, it brings it to where it should be. But all this, it also addresses our mood, so much so that people have been blown away by how much more they begin enjoying life. But because it also impacts the glandular system, the mood swings, things like this. This is why thought it would be a great pairing to have with a vibrancy. Now, one of the plants that is in this formula is ashwagandha. And I wanted to look at and point out that it is very good at helping to re-regulate the thyroid, because the thyroid can jump around. You'll hear some people that were hypothyroid and then went hyperthyroid or just bounced around. When you get that nervous exhaustion, when you're just beyond, ashwagandha is powerful in this. It's great for helping address things historically has been used for iron deficient anemia, and then the cloudy thinking of muscle pain. This too, this formula, I have done a separate Soul Smart on it, and I go in depth on it if you want to check that out. But here's the breakdown of the ingredients that are in adaptable. You can see the 6 adaptogens, and then just a sprinkling, just a tiniest amount of St. John's wort is in this formula. But adaptogens, their main impact is to help, again, work as kind of a all around tonic type herb to help bring the body into balance. Our third formula that is in this trio, or also known as the perimenopause package, is the Solle Maca XD. XD stands for extra dose. And across the board, what this formula helps address is stamina. So think of general energy and endurance, just helping get through the day. It does help support libido and virility. So it's going to help, because of that, it also helps impact sleep, mood, prostate, and reproductive health across the board. The hormonal balance is supported very well with this formula, and it is done very well because of this three types of maca that we have in here. We have the red, yellow, and black. So you have all three helping to bring that nutrition in. All adaptogens help lift and the mood and help that the mind. And then we have cordyceps in here, which is outstanding for respiratory support as well. But one of the things I want to look at is the red maca that's in here, because as we age, one of the challenges does come with supporting bone density. And it can be off for multiple reasons, but the maca has actually been studied. A 2006 study did show that the participants did have increased bone density after using the red maca. So the current thinking is that because maca is so good at helping balance hormones and helping increase energy, people feel better. And then that's part of the emotional component as to why they may be getting out and moving more and doing things as well. We all know that exercise, in particular, some of the weight bearing exercise, is outstanding for helping to support bone density. So Solle Maca, when you break it down to its ingredients, you can see again lots of B vitamins in some of these. The cupuaçu is a really neat fruit from the Amazon, and it brings a lot of nice vitamin C to the table. The Damiana leaf, you can see we've got cobalt, iron, niacin, tribulus terrestris. We got some of our potassium, iron, phosphorus, and then there's the cordyceps. And this is just general nutritional profile highlights. And again, if you want more in depth on this, there is a Soul Smart dedicated just to this as well. But looking at the full package, all of these together. So again, we may have named it the perimenopause package, but I want you to think of it as general hormonal support designed from puberty to old age. And I will tell you, my husband is also in this package as well, because the same products support his hormone balance for as a male, and the body knows how to use them for what's ideal for him. So don't hesitate to use these formulas across the board. I love this testimony here that's talking about this 20-year-old. And what she says is, I didn't miss work and I didn't vomit all day through my period. This never happens. I always get sick and miss a day or two of work. This is a 20-year-old taking this package of the Vibrancy, Solle Maca XD, and Adaptable, and she had only taken them for 3.5 weeks before her period. This is so powerful and so freeing, and it supports the body in such a good, healthy way by letting it the body be able to individualize or tailor it to what it needs. I would have loved to have been able to have this available to myself as a young woman with my cycle, because I had all kinds of different challenges between cyst, endometriosis, the heavy flooding, all of this. This would have been incredible. So here are the 3 items. We'll start with the left here, the Solle Maca XD in general, supporting stamina, mood, sex drive with the different ingredients of the macas and cordyceps. Testimony from this woman, Solle Maca was the win with no more hot flashes. That's exciting. I've run into so many women that hot flashes are ruling their life. Now, Adaptable. It is that general one that has the 6 powerful adaptogens helping to bring the body into balance and support its ideal response to stress. And I love this. It's like flipping off the internal alarm system that's been running nonstop. Friend of mine was saying that when she hit the menopause season of life, she had to put to up her adaptogen game or otherwise tweak it. What was working before wasn't quite working as fast. And she had started to notice she was shaky and having anxiety again. When she added in the two adaptable, she quickly felt calm again. And then our vibrancy formula, which supports the thyroid and nourishes it and the hormone system support that we just recently released. This is a great testimony. After only 2 days, this woman noticed a huge difference. She had had brain fog and lethargy for at least a year and was experiencing headaches and heart palpitations. They all left, and she even has energy in the evenings now. Here's a client of mine who's an ultra marathoner, meaning she trains and runs these 100-mile races. And she would always get sidelined with her cycles. She had horrific issues with clotting and just couldn't even function or move. Here she is on this package, and she, for the first time in years, was able to get out and run with all her friends on the fourth day of her cycle. This is huge in giving her back part of her life and empowering her. So, in general, what I like to say is natural health isn't going anywhere. It's not a trend, it is a lifeline. And I do believe every woman deserves to feel vibrant, not just functional. And hands down, this is a package that I will be using every day um, through eternity, because no matter what, getting that good nutritional support in to help my hormones stay balanced is critical.